My name's Kim Curtis, and I live in Loveland with my husband, Tony. This is Lucky. I guess she's the dog of the moment. Lucky is probably 20 years old by now, and she's a miniature dachshund. Lucky is probably the best dog I've ever had. She's my companion day in and day out. We travel with her. We plan our vacations around taking Lucky with us. She's very special. One of the few times we didn't travel with Lucky, we left her in Wellington with our daughter, and then our 14-year-old granddaughter was in charge of watching her while we were gone for the week. We were in Houston, sitting out back, playing with the grandchildren, and we get this call that Lucky's missing. What happened was they live out on a farm in Wellington. She'd left the back door open because they have 4 large dogs, and Lucky went out with the big dogs, and she just kept walking. They searched for her, the neighbors searched for her, nobody could find her. And so when we got the call, immediately scheduled a flight back. We got back to Daniel, my daughter's house in Wellington at 2 a.m. and we continued to search for her. They live on a 40-acre property almost to the Wyoming border, full of coyotes, eagles, rattlesnakes, cactus, and it was hot. It was in the summer. And so the chances of her survival, even to the point that we got back, we were actually looking for her collar at that point. Just knowing she was out there, not knowing where she was, and the possibilities were just haunting. And again, thinking it was recovery, not rescue at that point. We searched until about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I went into the house and just checked my cell phone while the Humane Society had called, and they had her. And I remember saying, "Oh, no, you don't." And they're like, "Yes, we do." And I'm like, "Is her tongue hanging out?" And they're like, "Yes, it is." So then we knew immediately that was Lucky.
I'm Officer Kaylee McMurray with Larimer Animal Protection and Control. And it came in the middle of our meeting that there was a stray injured up on North Timberline and Vine at the train station, the yard up there. So I just headed to the train yard, and I was not expecting them to pull the dog off of a train. They went onto the train on the tracks and came out with little dachshund and handed her to me and then took off. They were holding up traffic right there at the train tracks, so then they left. They were waiting for us. She got into my ride and then she went home. They found her on the side of the tracks. They thought she was injured, so they picked her up. So she took a train ride all the way down to Fort Collins.
She was unscathed. We took her to the vet the next day and got antibiotics, but she had no cactus. She wasn't dehydrated. I mean, there's some big snakes out there. She was in pretty darn good shape.
Licensing and microchipping will get them home. It takes everybody just going a little step out of their way to go the extra mile. And she got home within 24 hours of being lost in the middle of nowhere.
We learned about the train conductor dropping her off in Fort Collins. I mean, it's just amazing. It's totally amazing that she's here with us.